Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Allotment of the Dead. So I asked you guys a while back about any ideas as to what to plant in this lovely, it's actually fiberglass barrel. It's what I had previously. I had my cinnamon vine or Chinese yam previously planted in it, and for some reason it didn't really do so well last year and it kind of died on me. So left me with this absolutely lovely barrel to think of something else for. So in terms of ideas, there's a few ideas in terms of root crops and things like that. It's a really deep barrel, looks really nice from the outside as well though. So one of the guys from the Potty Mouth Discord channel, Locke, spoke quite highly about an edible fruit called Pineapple Guava, and that led me to looking into them. And when you kind of hear about a fruit that tastes like a mixture of pineapple, guava, strawberry, kiwi fruit, passion fruit, kind of a whole mix of really perfumed fruits, it made me think, I've got to get me one of them. And so that's what I've ended up doing. So this wonderful plant here that I got from, I think it was Web Plants Online, I think it was something like that, delivered in this 9-litre pot. So really impressive looking plant even already. I've bought an established plant purely because it can take up to kind of 4 or 5 years for these to actually give any fruit. So I thought I'd give myself a fighting chance, see if I could get something relatively early on in the life of this plant. So we've got this lovely plant as we see in front of us. So as you can see, it's evergreen. We're into probably about the time when it's supposed to start flowering, so May, June time, according to the literature, is when it's supposed to start flowering. Can't see much in the way of flowers on this. Maybe there will be, I don't know. Don't know much about this plant really. But the pros and the description of what this is supposed to taste like has led me to kind of go down this route. So what I'll do is I've filled up the barrel. I've put a load of compost in there. I've layered the bottom with I had some polystyrene boxes, so they've gone into the bottom as drainage, and also hopefully to let a little bit of air into the root system underneath. There's a little bit of bloodfish and bone, and there is some vermiculite as well, just to add a little bit of moisture retention, and then again a little bit of aeration around the roots and things. So let's have a look and see how this plant's looking. I always find if you give these a press on the outside first, it gives you a better chance of actually getting it a little bit easier out the plot. So you can see it's quite root bound, so we'll try and tease some of these roots out a bit before we start trying to put it into the pot. Again, don't want to damage the plant, don't want to damage the roots, so the teasing it looks like it's had plenty of grit and things like that in there with it as well. So we'll see how this goes. Right, so that's actually how it's going to stand in the pot. Leaves about a lip of about maybe ½ an inch that I can actually fill up with some mulch, just to make sure that it keeps this moisture into this pot. The thing about growing anything in pots is that they are prone to drying out potentially, so you want to try and keep these as moist as you can. You don't want to get them soaking wet, otherwise the plant's roots will rot potentially, but you do want that ability to enable you to allow a little bit of moisture retention in the pot. So I've got some more Jack's Magic, which I'm going to put around the outside of this plant. what I think I might try as well, I've got a little bit of mycorrhizal fungi here somewhere. Yep, there we go. So some root grow mycorrhizal fungi in there as well. So we'll put that around the roots as well. Let's give this a fighting chance to do really, really well. Right. I'll keep filling with compost now. Give it a good firming as you top the pot up. Okay. Okay. So what I've done in this case is I've actually left a little bit of space at the front, because the thing with these barrels is when you've got them in place, they are going to be quite heavy. But I do, if I can, I want to try and actually plant a couple of trailing plants in the front here, just so there's a little bit more of something to see during the season. And that can be nasturtium, it can be a wide variety of different trailing plants you can put in there, even trailing tomatoes if you wanted to. So that's this planted up. So what I'll do now is give it a top dressing. I've still got some of the straw left, and so I'll use a bit of that. It's done okay around the plot. Everywhere where I've used it, I've not had a lot of weed growth. I've also not had a lot of slugs and snails getting in, so that was quite good. But again, that will help to keep the moisture in as well. So there's my pineapple guava, all nicely planted. So these are pretty much hardy down to -5. There wasn't any point in getting a potentially tropical plant. These are actually native to South America, so there's probably not much chance of getting a tropical plant if it's not going to survive the British winters. That being said, -5 is kind of on the lower end of potentially how cold it can get in the UK. So during the winter, this one will be taken into either one of the aubergine house, the new build, or potentially into the polytunnels. So this plant is supposed to be able to get to about 2 meters tall, some places even 7 meters, but I think in the UK I don't think it will get anywhere close to that, but we'll see how it goes. Be interesting to see how this does. But yeah, thanks to Locke on the Discord channel. Really appreciate that. I say tip there, it was a recommendation really. So all the best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.